50th lasts the whole month at Tallahassee's Union Bank Museum. Today they hosted their first Freedom Fridays pop-up exhibit. It highlights the building's role in Reconstruction as the Freedmen's Bank. The Museum of Florida history team uncovered the free slaves who started banking there in the years after the Civil War.
The temporary panels around the building here each tell the story of one of the bank patrons whose records we have looked into, genealogical records, the deposit book records, and they each kind of have their own unique ties to Tallahassee and Tallahassee history.
There'll be different exhibits highlighting the bank's other eras of Tallahassee history the next 2 Fridays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The museum is right across the street from the old Capitol.